Hey, sis. Thank you for joining me this evening for Wealthy Women, where we chat with pros and experts about maintaining wellness, growing wealth, and celebrating womanhood. Life is an amazing adventure, and our goal here is to give you a valuable pit stop to refuel, refill, and refresh. So every Wednesday, you can join me live on Facebook or YouTube by searching for Marmor Life, and be sure to like our page and subscribe to our channel. So, my name is Kivette Minor Kane, and I am your financial liberation expert. I am here to share my knowledge and encouragement with you about how we can manage our money and maintain a positive mindset, how we're able to improve our habits, make better decisions, and create an amazing quality of life so that we can live in harmony and fulfill our life's purpose. So tonight I have with us for our Wealthy Women First Wednesday, it's going to be all about health is wealth. And we're going to be chatting with Coach Jo Dee, who is a health coach and holistic nutritionist. This is absolutely the most amazing woman. You guys may have seen her on a previous broadcast, but let me reintroduce you to her just in case. So Health Coach Jo Dee is a wellness coach and a holistic nutritionist who people say she looks 20 years younger than she is. And I'm not going to tell you her age, but I'm going to let her tell you as she does her introduction. But then she supports being able to maintain the will and the perseverance to overcome any medical adversity and the hardships that come as we encounter the tough road of life. And so that's why you're here, to refresh and to get refilled. And Coach Jo Dee has been certified as a health coach for over 39 years. She has been a corporate health coach and a consultant, and she teaches Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies, including athletics and nutrition, and just helping them to not just survive, but to thrive. And working with, she's got her own radio show as well as a podcast. And she's also been in direct sales for as an expert. She's been in for a number of years, and she is an expert in the field. I'm going to let her tell you about her greatest achievements so far in business as well as in health. And we're going to celebrate. Over 8 years, she's been doing this business. And so I'm going to just bring in Health Coach Jo Dee so she can share with you the joy that we are celebrating tonight. Our health is wealth, and all the amazing things. She's going to tell you some insights about her story, and then give you some tips about how you can improve your health and pay attention to maintaining your overall nutrition. So welcome, Health Coach Jo Dee. How are you?
I can tell you, I was just so excited to say that I was going to be here again with you. Kivette, you're amazing. I tell you, I love this. Refuel, renew, and I'm going to say refresh. And then you teach women how to be relentless. Nothing less than the best stands for relentless. So thank you for giving me this honor to be with you again. And your health is your wealth, and your wealth is your health. And this is going to be wealth spelled tonight, WELLTH. Let's be wealthy, shall we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Coach Jo Dee, I really want you to kind of introduce the folks to you. Tell them, why and how did you become a health coach in the first place?
Well, and that it's a great question, because everybody finds maybe their talent, but then we find a calling, that purpose, that calling. And that happened to me. Gosh, I was a classically trained vocal musician and concert pianist. I was all over the world. I do, productions, sang opera, did the magic flute, did lots and lots of things, made people so excited to hear my emotion with my talent. But health became my passion. When I was 25, had 2 babies in diapers. My mother contracted pancreatic and liver cancer. Now, I'd lost my dad when I was 3 years old, and I had a condition along the way ever since I was 3 years old, because that does something physically when you're going through that electrophase of your life when you lose your father. A girl, this is her first love. So I knew that there being an athlete and all of that, and I didn't put it together until the gift of my mother when I said, okay, they gave her 6 weeks to live, Cavette.
Oh, wow.
And I flew from Atlanta, Georgia, back to Montana with these two in diapers and said, yes, myself, I'm going to become relentless. Just like we have to become advocates. Like you said, you're an advocate for your mama today. I was an advocate for my mother. Went to the library in Little Laurel, Montana, with no red lights, by the way. Do you get the picture of the town? And I went into the library and I found this protocol from Edgar Cayce. And it talked about how you could clean your liver. And we're going to be talking about this today. I want you to listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, because there are some enlightened men that are going to hear you too. I know this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, they tune in because they love their ladies.
Oh, absolutely. So your liver is your trash heap. And this was 150 years ago. Here was Edgar Cayce. They gave my mother 6 weeks to live. I put her on the Edgar Cayce protocol, and she had 3 years length of life. And what she gave to me was my passion, my why. Then to think to myself, I go, this has legs to it. I use the same protocol for myself, and my body, being the miracle making machine that it was and still is to this day, I was able to go ahead and heal my body. And I use that loosely, but have my body create a new body, because you have new cells every 90 days.
Right.
Having this IBS that I had and I was inflicted with. And so many women have IBS with constipation because we hold in our emotions. See, I was holding that emotion in of my dad dying. And suddenly he was just gone. So I was able to use that same protocol that I gave to my mother for myself. My body became working again in my 20s. And I do these protocols. Now that I'm 67, I do this protocol once a quarter with my life to keep my life going. And what I found with health coaching is that this protocol of, going ahead and letting the body being a miracle making machine, that you could actually teach your body how to renew, refresh, yes, and be relentless to find your wellness.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's amazing. I mean, the fact that you first were on the mission for your mom.
Yes.
And that is something special for us, especially as daughters. I mean, our parents know that we're the ones who are going to be the nurturers and normally the ones who take on that role of caring for them when they get to a point where it's necessary.
Yes.
But then also being able to take the knowledge that you learned in supporting her to be able to support yourself. It's so important for us to pay attention to our self-care. That health is wealth starts with us, and then we're able to kind of trickle over onto others. But oftentimes, just like you said, we're motivated by the love that we have for our family and friends in order to make that happen.
Because they say to put the oxygen mask on yourself before putting it on your child. And that's what I did. I then took what I learned and the love that my mother had. She said, people need to know this before they get as sick as I am, Jo Dee. And she said this at the end stages of her life, and it just sat with me. And what I was able to do then with my sons, who then became world-class Olympic athletes, I use this knowledge for them. But along the way, there's a little bit of this story that we need to share, because I was a young wife and mother of 2 babies. All of a sudden, my sons are in elementary school, and I get this note on the kitchen table. And it said, I'm not coming home. I knew. And by the way, this note was from my husband. And I knew he wasn't just coming home for dinner. And I became motivated to then go ahead and take what I had learned, because I was doing a little bit of business in direct sales, liked the idea of financially independence, having my own thing, but then doing it around these little boys. All of a sudden, it had to be a business like that. My husband left me 3 months behind on the mortgage. We were behind on every bill. And I was able, with my relentlessness to then refuel, renew, and refresh, to keep mind on self-care with myself, and then to be that relentless, that fourth one, to go ahead and catch every single bill up in the next 3 weeks. I mean, crazy. I created $1 million brand in 6 months. And then I took my expertise to this company, this direct selling company. I said, this is a primarily women's company. We concentrate on beauty on the outside. How about beauty from the inside with health? And they used my expertise as a health coach. And then I was working on my holistic nutritionist degree. Right now I'm ABD, all but dissertation, because I never quit talking long enough to go ahead and get the dissertation written, but I will one day.
Yeah.
And what it did, it created wealth for my sons. It created a lifestyle for them that was a 2-parent family with 1 parent. And I'm so grateful, because this was back in the 80s. People knew about the zone diet. Maybe we were thinking about Atkins. Well, he died of a heart attack, because I want to get into this, because people doing this keto diet are doing no favor to themselves. Kavette, may I go in on this for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Because what a lot of people are doing, and I'm going to be seeing it. We're talking about the liver. We're talking about how the liver is the garbage dump. Okay, then it goes into the pancreas, which is the toxic waste dump. And if we keep feeding it protein, it's going to get like cirrhosis of the liver, ladies and gentlemen, just like if you'd been an alcoholic. Seriously, it'll be as hard as a rock. So you do plant-based keto. And this is something that I have done for years and years and years, way back in the 80s. Because what I knew is that just like Mr. Atkins died of a heart attack, you see, Aunt Harriet or Uncle Harry didn't die of a heart attack. They died of inflammation. Inflammation is the #1 cause of all disease. And if we're talking about women with their health issues, as we get older, our hormones change. Can I hear a witness? Every single woman would raise their hand. All right, yeah. They're either now perimenopause is getting younger, and at a younger age. Why? Because what happens is with all the toxicity that's around it, and that's for a whole nother segment. And yes, anybody that's hearing this show, I'm more than available to do a 20-minute consultation. Would love any of Kavette's crew is a crew with Jo Dee as well. But what I know is that you get into this, okay, my hormones are going. And have you ever tried a diet that, because it's called diet? I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I want to come up with a lifelong plan. And I was starting and hearing all of this in the 80s about got to boost your metabolism. Well, see, that causes adrenal fatigue, and women are the biggest victims of that, I guess is a word I want. And the reason that they're victims, see, your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys. They're like a little sun hat. And if they shrivel up, then what's going to happen to your renal failure? And yes, there is an ethnic quality to this, Kavette. African-American women are first. Latino women are second for kidney failure. Wow. There's something genetically encoded in keeping your adrenals happy. So what did I come up with? And I had patented this about doing, it's a reset with your metabolism, and either not boosting your metabolism, but resetting it. If you have weight loss, resetting it for your emotions, resetting it for your hormones. Yes. And then the summer hat that's on top of the head on the kidneys, it stays really, really happy. Absolutely. So remember, inflammation is the _1 cause of all disease.
Now, something you don't know about me is that I actually have experienced personally adrenal fatigue because of being overexerted. And it was misdiagnosed when I went to my doctor's office. It took me a while to realize, I was able to recuperate, from the symptoms. I stopped overworking myself. I made sure that I hydrated and did some other things, and changed my eating habits, obviously, because I was eating a bunch of junk during that time, but was able to reset, and so I know for me, it was a very challenging thing because I wasn't as familiar with, what was going on. I didn't know what questions to ask. So what would you encourage our audience to look for as signs of this kind of, adrenal fatigue? And then what is your recommendation for their first step in making the correction?
And I thank you for that because it involves cleanses. It really does.
Mhm.
But listen to the warning signs of your body. You'll
Yeah.
get 3 warning signs, ladies and enlightened gentlemen, okay? You'll get the tap on the shoulder, and then you'll get the 2x4. Take heed before it's the Mack truck.
Right.
See, we wait and we go and go and go and go. It's the way that we do in America, especially if you're business owners. Keep going and going and going until the Mack truck is like, and you're in the middle of the road and say, I'm going to be roadkill. It's called terminal illness.
Yeah.
So there are 3 steps that I really think are important. And the first one I brought out, and this is the best brand, and you can get it at Amazon. You can get it at Whole Foods. It's called Wormwood Complete. It's $6.95.
Okay.
Why do
So
I
what does
say
the wormwood do?
the wormwood is a parasite cleanse? See,
Ah.
we have parasites in our bodies, and the cleaner you eat, sometimes the more parasites that you have. Now, until probably 6 years ago, I discovered this on my journey, being with one of my colleagues who is a world-renowned and Nobel Prize nominated for in holistic nutritionist for this next year in 2021. And Dr. Jim is amazing. And he said, what you were doing is just cleansing every once in a while. You're letting these larvae multiply. I'm like, oh, I don't think so. So what you do is you do this parasite cleanse. I'll be happy to share it with our audience. You do it every single day for 21 days, then you wait 90 days. But it's important. Any of the protocols I'm going to tell you, you need to be staying with a health practitioner that can guide you. Why? Why do you have a health coach? Well, kind of like Tiger Woods. Think about it. Michael Jordan had somebody in the stands watching him go in and do the dunk every single time. Tom Brady has somebody that watches him go ahead and execute and deliver the ball. Somebody looks for Tiger Woods in his swing.
Yeah.
That's what a health coach does. The biggest misnomer I see people do, oh, I heard this tip. Now I'm going to go into GNC and I'm going to do it myself. Would you ever do that with a physician? Now, I have had over 40 years now of doing this type of work. And I can say when you do the parasite cleanse, and it may be, well, I can just say it was an event the first time I did this. I was really glad I was in the aisle seat flying from Orlando to Denver. And I was in the front of the plane. That's all I'm saying, because it was pretty outstanding. I wouldn't suggest that you fly out the next day after you've done 21 days.
Okay. Yeah.
But what has happened after this, when people, and they don't guess my age, and thank you for saying I look 20 years younger, but what they will say is it's because the health and beauty comes from outside. And yes, I've had no work, no facelift, no Botox. Don't believe it. I'm just start from the inside out. So start with a parasite cleanse. And then that, like you did, do what we call a master cleanse. Then you're going to clean. Okay. If you're talking about your finances, you start by saving a penny a day. I'm never going to forget that. And you start with the basics. That is your colon. I cannot be anywhere talking without talking about pee and poop. It's just the way it is. So you start with your colon, you build that up like a penny a day, and there's a protocol. Then you go to your liver. Remember the toxic waste dump that I was talking about, and then your pancreas, and last but not least is your gallbladder, because those 3 organs, your colon, your liver, pancreas, and your gallbladder, if there's too much heat, it will cause adrenal fatigue. I just answered your question.
Yeah.
What's another sign for women? I'm tired. Let's say that you get a full night's sleep and you've done meditation, I believe, starting at least 15 minutes, go up to 30 minutes a day. And I do have some tips on my website. I have some tips going ahead and going through a great meditation that's on my YouTube channel that you can do. It's just there for free as a public service. But if you wake up in the morning and say, I am so tired, and you even have your coffee and you're so tired, it's not the Mack truck yet, but it is the 2x4. You're beyond the tap on the shoulder. So that's the heed. Do your parasite cleanse. Let's start with your bottom chakra, with your colon, a penny a day, work up to your liver.
Yeah.
So that your liver will quiver. It's not going to be like the Rock of Gibraltar. And then your gallstones will it'll just be green, and the bile will say, oh, it's just going through, and your plumbing will be a sight that you'll never see again in your life. It's pretty outstanding.
Now, this is absolutely essential for us. This is essential for us as women, because just like you said, there's something that we tend to do that is and this is the very basics of self-care. Oftentimes we will just work and work and work and work, and we won't pay enough attention to our even normal natural bodily functions, and we'll just kind of work ourselves. And I find that even in my younger years, because now I pay much more close attention to how I'm functioning and making sure, and I'm going to say younger years, but I want to say even within the last few years, I've had to kind of pay more attention to what am I doing in my work. If I'm driving, because some days I drive all day long, and so I'm out driving around, and if I maybe don't eat right, then of course then that messes up my energy. Or if I don't stop to go to the ladies' room, then that messes up my energy, and so I don't feel, full and refreshed. I feel, sluggish and fatigued. Mm-hmm. And so it's very basic for us to make sure that we're listening to our bodies in that way. I was having a conversation earlier, talking to a friend saying, I've seen more commercials for these poise pads. And it's like, well, why? But it's oftentimes because, and I asked my doctor about this, she says a lot of times ladies will hold themselves for so long that they end up damaging those muscles.
And you cannot recover them unless you and there is a naturopathic, if you go to my Instagram page, it's called Micella. And you can actually sit on it, and it will make those Kegels go again. And that's why, because we don't take care of ourselves. And I want to come back to what you were saying about driving. 20 minutes of driving is like you're actually working out for 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
So what you need to do, there's a simple exercise when you get home. It's called legs against the wall. Put your behind. Let's go like this. Put your behind. This is my behind. Put it up against the wall. Your legs are up on the wall at home. And you might have to sit there, be parallel, swing around, put your legs up, and just let that circulation going, because colon cancer is the new lung cancer, because people are sitting, they're driving, they're sitting in front of a computer. They're doing all this sitting, and you just don't breathe. This is why, if you do a lot of Zooms, if you're on, and think about what we've done to ourselves during COVID and quarantine. I get one of these Versa desks so you can change your way you sit. And if you know that you're going to be gone for a while, just hit me on Instagram at Health Coach Jo Dee. I will send you my green miracle drink. It tastes good. It's wonderful. Take it with you. Make sure that you put it in a 3-hour and put it in one of those insulated bags. I've had it explode in my Mercedes, and it's cream color, and it wasn't pretty. Okay. The other thing you can do is green Granny Smith apples. Cut up 2 or 3. And those are very good for gallbladder cleansing as you're going, and you won't be hungry. You will be full. And those are the 2 tips. If you find yourself going between appointments to appointments, just how to give that tip.
Absolutely. Now, you share some amazing tips with us, Coach Jo Dee. We want to celebrate with you because you've got some fabulous news about your business. So how long have you been serving as a health coach and holistic nutritionist?
Well, I got my certification right after my mom passed away. It was kind of my gift back that I was listening to my mom. So I was 27. I've been doing this for 40 years. It's morphed in time. As I said, I was doing it for my sons. Then I was as a consultant for a direct sales company. Then I went, and as you were saying, and you were so kind to, I read that resume. It made me feel like I am somebody, like Steve Martin. I'm in the yellow pages. I am somebody. I can see my name. I've gone ahead and taught peak performance to every NCAA school except 2. I have been able to, Department of Defense, just taught them programs in the corporate where then when Bob Bear found me on the beach, I made him sweat for a year, and we got married a year later. I went back into private practice. Then was doing some things as a consulting kind of work on the side with a couple of direct sales companies as well, because they have really great products. But what I decided to focus on during that time after Bob and I married was this, that I was going to take what I knew about weight loss. I was going to take what I knew about being a peak performer, because I've run over 6,000 road races. I'm a nationally ranked triathlete in my age group before COVID happened. It goes on and on. So I knew about peak performance, but I also knew about nutrition and how that played. And I knew what I knew about your metabolism reset rather than metabolism boost. So I decided to go ahead and create a program. And that's what I did. And what has happened with this is Dr. Mike Van Thielen, I was his first patient a long time ago. We created a book, and I want to bring the book up here. It's called Be Lean. Okay. And you can get a free copy. Any of Cavette's guests that follow here, you can get a free copy. Just go ahead, and you have to, I just need you to pay the $5.95 postage and handling, and you can get the book. And it talks more in depth about how you can manage those emotions, how you can manage stress, because everybody has stress. And Dr. Mike is amazing like this. We also have a podcast about this Be Lean program. And what we have done with this is that we've been able to say now, over the last 10 years, our clients have lost over 900,000 pounds.
That is so exciting. Okay, so let's say that again. 900,000 pounds.
Yes.
So you are on your way to 1,000,000 pounds down through your business. That is absolutely fabulous.
And guess what, Cavette? This 1,000,000 pounds down. Do you want to go down with you? Do you want to be around? And let's do this. Okay. Yeah, what I can say is only 5% of my clients have ever gained their weight back.
Oh,
because
wow.
When you reset your metabolism, you have a whole new body. You know that with your adrenal fatigue, you wouldn't be able to do what you've done. So that's why in this post-COVID era, we have this collaboration between like-minded people. I mean, your tribe is dependent on your vibe. And I love your vibe. I love you. And I love what you do for people, being a financial liberationist. So this is what you gave me today. This is just how you are. It says, come on down. Are you on? Y'all on for this 1,000,000 pounds down? Y'all on for your 1,000,000 pounds down. So if that's a part of you, then I wanted you to go ahead and see, this is how simple. We've got drops, and without going into a lot of this, we know a lot about your B vitamins. You know a lot about D3K2 in COVID. Helps boost your immune system, because there will be a COVID 20 and 21. So it's good with this. There's a maintenance program with green drops. But if you never saw me again, we created an app. We created an app. So you go in, it tells you how to do it, what to do, how to go in and log into your accountability portal. It lets me know. And the recipes are great because I created them. Just saying. And then I just know how to cook where it tastes good and it's good for you. Yeah. So the thing that I know that I want to come back, because what I've seen with this particular program, and yes, we have a Be Lean that you keep doing every single day. And by the way, this is no caffeine. Only one I've ever seen that has no caffeine. So I'm done with doing the photo op for product. But you see, we really started getting in trouble in the early 80s because we went no fat. Well, what did they put in the products? Cavette, they put in sugar. Right. And sugar, they've done tests that it is more addictive than cocaine. Yeah. I mean, I went ahead just for heck of it. I went through McDonald's. I didn't break out in Tourette's. I just went through because I wanted to smell the fries. I could smell the sugar. So that's how they're doing this. So see, sugar feeds disease, and sugar feeds a virus. And what is cancer? The leading cause of all disease? It's a virus. Yeah. So when you can go down, eliminate the sugar, put in natural sugar and natural cravings. I've had people say about this program, and that's why I like the name Be Lean. And
Yeah.
you can go and get tips on Wellness Coach Jo Dee, which is my Facebook page, or Health for Life is our page with Dr. Mike and myself. You'll get tips about living lean and green and just turn into this money making machine. Oh, I knew it was there.
Well, because I mean, you think about it, if you are not feeling well, we would not be able to think well. We will
No,
not be able to function in our businesses. We will not be able to do well on our jobs. We'll not be able to manage our money properly.
no.
Because what happens, we're looking for a way to satisfy ourselves. And sometimes that ends up meaning that we're going to spend money in places that we shouldn't. And,
Yes.
and we'll throw money away on food that's not going to be good for us. And then we won't be able to see the healthy benefits. And so we want
I
to make sure that we're focusing in on maintaining our health so that we
Yes.
can maintain our wealth. And that's where
Well,
the name of this program even comes from. You know, we're wealthy women, and recognizing that health is wealth, building ourselves up from the inside out.
inside out. And there were 10 billionaires. You probably know this story, Kavette, but 10 billionaires, and they studied them at the end stage of their life. They didn't have much longer to go. And
Okay.
they amassed all this money. And yes, 2 of them were women and 3 were men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They said that if they would do it over in reverse, it was nothing about philanthropy. That's usually what people say. Oh, I would
Mm-hmm.
have given more to charity, or I would have spent more time with my family relationally.
Yeah.
They said I would have spent more attention at the early stages on my health.
Yeah.
And they all said the very same thing.
Yeah.
So of those 5 or 10, and I'm not sure whether it was 5 or 10, but I've seen that story. But if you'd lived your life in reverse, because I just am going to give our audience one tip, and it's a registered trademark of mine, and it says no food tastes as good as health feels.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
can truthfully say, and if you think you're going to exercise, I'm just going to tell you 23 years ago, I had a situation with stage 4 melanoma. The
Oh,
stage
wow.
4 melanoma, because I was over exercising. I was doing a marathon a month. I was running 60 to 80 miles a week. Too much, too much. And I toxified my body, because you really need to pay attention. And I got sidetracked for about a year with my gene pool, with my mother, and my father having adrenal failure. It caught up with me at
Mm-hmm.
44, and I was able to turn this around with lean and green again
Mm-hmm.
forever, because I just thought I was bulletproof and I could keep going on and be the single mom, do this, do that, and it caught up with me as well. So
Yeah.
think about it. If Would you have a Lamborghini in your driveway and put apple juice in it, or never go, or an oil change? Well,
No.
una vida, one life, una
Yeah.
cuerpo, one body.
Right.
So health is something, it's that you are. It's not
Mhm.
something you do.
Right.
And this
Not
is the
something you
R.
have, how we exist.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just so important. And think about these billionaires, whether it was 5 or 10. If you lived your life in reverse, would you go ahead and want it to be how they did? Or are you just going to work, work, work until it catches up to you and you see the Mack truck? I know
Yeah.
at 67, I think of this all the time, and people stop me now and they say this, and I didn't realize it was going to be my trademark at
Mm-hmm.
this stage of my career. But do I want to be, and I look at women that are your age and younger. So do you want to have a chance to have your grandkids sit on your lap, or do you want to go ahead and have a wheelchair in the back seat of your car? Do you want to go ahead
That's
and
real.
be, yeah, and be the angel to your family, or do you want to have a visiting angel in your house? Do you, how, if you were going to live your life in reverse, because what you do in your 20s and 30s and 40s will either come to reward you in your 50s and 60s and beyond,
Mm-hmm.
or it won't. And as you see, I've got this little thing right here.
Yeah, I wanted you to tell them that story before we finish up. Okay, so health coach Jo Dee is not just a sit back, I'm going to tell you what to do kind of coach. As she said, she is a runner, a nationally renowned runner. She's, participated in so many thousands of miles of racing, but she's also a bicyclist. And so she was out riding her bike, and look what happened.
And it was one of those things.
Yeah.
And of course, my husband said, what kind of woman at 70 is still using a racing bike with clips? And I said, one that isn't 70 yet.
Right.
It was one of those fluke things. The clip just stuck, and in slow motion, it's just a scaphoid bone. It's going to be 3 weeks. I'll be fine. But this was really remarkable to me when I got this little love brace that I really needed. And I am the most impatient patient. And if I'll just tell you, this is my own personal opinion, I'll be taking this little puppy off in about 5 days, going to my acupuncturist and having her put needles into this area of for real. It's an event. Just but into that
and get the healing moving through. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. So the orthopedist came and goes, is your birthday 54? And I said, yes, sir. And he said, those were the strongest bones, an orthopedic surgeon, for a 50-year-old woman, let alone a 67-year-old. So I'm going to ask you, if you lived your life in reverse, what would it look like? I will be probably one of the older people that are watching this. Do you want to just live on social insecurity, or do you want to create that wealth with WELLLLLTH with Cavett, the financial liberationist, so that you can say, I'm going to do and have what I want so I can be anything I can be.
Yeah.
And I can say that I believe in supplements. You can see I had these here. Why? Would you ever tell somebody to not have insurance on their car, Cavett?
No, actually, it's required.
Yes. When you tell them not to have health insurance, that's kind of required too. You don't say, well, I'm going to wait until I have an accident. It wouldn't fly. You couldn't get a driver's license, can't get a license tag. So this is what I'm saying. You supplement your finances, you supplement with insurance, supplement your body. Una cuerpo, una vida. It's a Lamborghini. And if you do take supplements, I'm going to ask our viewership to go to my website, which is healthcoachjodee.com, and go. There's a little click there. Click on full script. Why am I asking you to do this? Because every single brand there, I stand behind as a holistic nutritionist. They are pharmaceutical brands, not the ones that you would get in the strip mall, nor on, let's say, in Walgreens, CVS. But Dr. Mike and I created this site during COVID. He's the one, and my partner, who did the book and is a world-class, world record-setting swimmer himself. And any proceeds that go, and you ordered these supplements for you and your body and your life, will go to help human trafficking. And there's a non-for-profit in the state of Florida that we're very passionate about. So all the money goes there, because when you help one, you help all. So I just wanted to leave that with everybody, that they can, not only can they get a copy of the book for free to get educated. I'm here to help you with a consultation, but also send people to that website for full script, because it really will make a difference, because you never know which life you may save by helping your own.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Health Coach Jo Dee, for coming and sharing this information with us about health is wealth, how we're able to stay clean and be lean.
And a money-making machine.
Absolutely. To refuel, refresh, and refill ourselves so that we're able to maintain our strength for a long, long time. We want to be able to not only enjoy, to create or build or grow our wealth, but we want to be able to live long enough to enjoy it. And so that means maintaining our health so that we can enjoy our wealth as well. And so thank you so much for sharing these tips with us. Our audience knows how to get in contact with you on Instagram. You can follow her at Health Coach Jo Dee. You can visit healthcoachjodee.com in order to get more information about her supplements that she's able to provide for you. I thank you so much for coming to share with us this evening. Truly, these women are going to benefit from what we've had to say about being well, about being wealthy, and celebrating our womanhood.
Guess what, Kavette? What I'm going to say, you are the bet, Kavette. You are the bet that we have to take in all the pillars of your life. 5 plus 5, make it a perfect 10. And I just want to share one last thing with our audience is that energy will create vitality, which in my case, I'm living proof. It creates longevity. Kavette, what you are giving in service to women is second to none. I can hardly wait for your next podcast. Follow her. Her content is amazing. And I know you've got some events coming up as well. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I love you with my whole heart.
Thank you so much. Love you too, Mama. Mama Bear. Absolutely. So feel free, and we'll see you. We will connect with you on Instagram. All right. Have a good night. Thank you so much. So feel free to reach out to me at www.marimorelife.com for more information about the events that are going to be coming up this weekend. I actually have on June the 5th a Good Retire seminar, which is going to help to give you the knowledge and education that you need about building your wealth, making sure that you're getting out of debt and retiring tax-free. That is absolutely going to be the most beneficial for you so that you're able to enjoy the wealth that you have created, that you're able to be able to share that with your family and to make sure that you're caring for yourself during the years when you're no longer able to work. And so here on Well Wealthy Women, we're just talking about how to maintain our wellness, how to grow our wealth, and celebrating our womanhood. And so I thank you so much. I am Kavette Minor-Kane, your financial liberation expert with Marimor Life LLC. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.